Hello everyone and welcome to this video. Now this is going to be a contest entry response into James Laubhan's Season of Giving contest. I believe it's to celebrate him reaching 400 subscribers, which is amazing, so well done to you, James, for that. Basically the contest was we had to guess what 10 albums that would be like his top 10 like from this year of music. So as I've got a list here, like we had to like rank them like in order. This ranking here is like isn't like set in stone. Like I haven't really thought too much about like the actual ranking, like where I've put like each album. But the albums like I've chosen, like I've rewatched like a lot of like his older videos to get like an idea of like what music like interests him like this year. So I'm going to get on with the top 10 list. Well, what I think would be in James's top 10. So at number 10, I think he would go with Paul Weller and the album Saturn's Pattern. Now this is an interesting one here because I don't believe that since before hearing this album, James is actually familiar too much with like Paul Weller's stuff. I thought I think like he only really knew like the Style Council and like the Jam. He didn't have like any of their records. He didn't have like any Paul Weller solo records. But like after like getting into this album through, I believe it was a recommendation from Ben Simpson, he's now bought like the Jam vinyl box set and like started getting like some of like his solo albums as well. And like I think that this album is great as well. It's one of like the only albums from like this year that I've actually bought as well. At number 9, I'm going to say No Gallagher's High Flying Birds album Chasing Yesterday. I think James like really liked this album. Like I certainly liked the single what I heard like on the radio quite a bit. I think it was called Riverman or The Riverman or something like that. Like I really like that song. So I think that James would enjoy this album. Next one up, number 8, Riley Walker and Primrose Green. Now this was actually an album what James recommended to me personally, so I think that he would think highly of it, like if he was like recommend it to me. And like I quite enjoyed it, and maybe a bit too well, I don't say boring, but a bit sort of quite soft and like mellow album. Maybe a bit too much for me, but like I certainly think that James would like this a lot. Like at number 7 on my list would be an album by Melody Gardot, I think that's how you say your name, called Currency of Man, her album from this year. I would think that James would probably pick this one, being somewhere like in like his list, because he's got like his great friend Rock Boy 660 like into her, so I think that he must think like really highly like of her, to recommend her to one of his best friends. She's a sort of like jazz singer, and that like although like I haven't heard it, like I think that it would probably feature somewhere in James's list. Album number 6, I'm going to say John Grant and his album from this year called Grey Tickles Black Pressure. Again, although I haven't listened to this, like I've that this is one just like going back through like his like older videos, trying to see what he likes, and like I remember him like really saying great things about this album. So number 5, going to go with probably my favourite album from this year, Jeff Lynne's ELO and Alone in the Universe. I think this is a great album, although maybe not as good as like ELO's early stuff. I mean, there's no real comparison really, but it is still a really good album, I feel, and James is a huge ELO fan, so I think that like this would probably feature like somewhere like in his list, although to be fair, maybe not as high as this, but like I'm just probably getting a bit of like my personal bias like into like this list a little bit. Number 4, I'm going to say a group called Beach House and their album Depression Cherry. Strange title, I know, but this is also like a group who who James like recommended to me, and well, I didn't like recommend them really. Like he just sort of said, like, this is what I've been listening to, and I actually quite liked it. I believe their genre is called something like dream pop or like something like that. Like but I kind of liked it. Number 3, I'm going to say the solo album by Guy Garvey called Courting the Squall. I think that's how you say it. Again, another strange title for an album. But I would think that James would pick this one here because he's a huge fan of the group Elbow. they're like the group who like he done like his first collections video on, and like also their song is like his sort of like his channel theme song. So I think that like he would really like this album. Like he said to me like a lot of like the time that he thinks it's brilliant, like it's a departure from like Elbow's sort of style and like their sound. At number 2 now, going to go with an album from a guy called Richard Hawley, called Hollow Meadows. Now this was actually quite a successful album, like over here, like in like the UK, like I like like I heard about it, and that like in the newspapers, like reviews of that, and like it was getting like a lot of like great reviews, and like then like James recommended it to me, and like I kind of like it. I mean, like it's certainly like he's like an artist who like I can certainly see like growing on like myself, and like I know that James is like a huge mega fan, so I would think that this album would definitely feature somewhere like in his top 10. And at number 1 now, no real surprises for like for the album what I would probably pick as James's number 1, but I'll probably go with 25 from Adele. Although I'm personally not a fan, James is a mega fan, and like this album has just is very like it's like a record breaker, like in terms of like the like in terms of like the success it's had. I believe it sold over 2 million copies already. Like, and it's only been out for like 2 weeks or something like that. It's like it's absolutely mental like how like this album has been like such a success. Maybe a little bit overrated though. I mean, but like it's still like that's still an album what I think James would like definitely put like as like his number 1, because he's a huge fan of Adele, and like I believe he's been a fan like right from like the start, like right from like when she was like quite like obscure. So so that's it for this video here. Bit of a different one I know for like my channel, but like it's just like I'm doing like this as like a contest entry to James. Although for me, my top 10 albums from this year would look completely different. I couldn't even do a top 10, maybe a top 5 or like a top 3 or something, like something like that, because I'm not really I don't pay like that much attention to like newer music, to be honest with you. But like I've enjoyed like creating like this list, and like I would urge you all, like if you've not, to go in subscribe to James's channel, watch some of his videos, because he has something for everyone really. And also if you're a fan of James's channel, I would urge you to do a contest entry as well, because I believe like with the contest, the prize is like one of his albums from his top 10. You also get to give one to like one of like your friends as well, so that's pretty cool idea, James there. So I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.